this girl and she was just like, "Thank God you're not some insightful dog with a pilot's license." Ba. Habada. Habada bagaba.
Oh, hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. You little pickles. It's a Friday.
Hi, BBs. Not pickles, but BBs.
Little pickles.
Well.
Little pickles is Friday. Hey, welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
I'm Saige Ryan.
And it's too early.
It is. The snowman's still here, Anthony.
I don't know what it means.
You do.
I don't understand the exchange rate.
Would you like it to be something else?
It was numbers before. We don't have to get into this. You know, folks, it's a big game day for me.
Yeah.
For me, because it's Plinko now. Because it's like a pachinko thing. Like, what is? I still don't understand. Returnal is out today.
Woo!
And I've been waiting for Returnal for a very long time. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I love Housemark. I love roguelikes. I love big weird shooters. So Returnal is a big deal, but there's also been a lot of other stuff going on, games-wise.
Yeah, Anthony, restart your NDI.
Okay. There's also been a lot of other stuff going on games-wise. Yesterday, Sony had a big old state of play.
They had a state of play.
They had a smallish state of play.
I would actually argue that they had a specifically not big state of play, which was very interesting.
It was a weensy state of play.
A small one.
Specifically, for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, we got 15 minutes of brand new gameplay. And, ooh, I think we already knew this was going to be a pretty game.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty game.
It's a very pretty game. Something we were talking about was like the difference of the way that Nintendo clarifies. Like, we're doing an indie state of play. We're doing, not a state of play, an indie direct or a mini direct. You're never quite sure what you're going to get. PlayStation's like, we're doing something.
Yeah. PlayStation's just like, it's a state of play.
It's all a state of play.
But this is 15 minutes of Ratchet and Clank gameplay footage. I'm going to jump around.
Yeah, show us some actual movement and combat because that was
this is real time.
Like, look at that world, except for our NDI.
Our NDI is making it look super bad. Our NDI
we promise it's pretty. Just believe us.
I'm just
going to watch it yourself.
I'm going to do this, and that might help a little bit with the NDI. But this is absolutely beautiful.
It really is. And some of the movement was really, really interesting and very smooth. I love his little rocket shoes, of course.
Let me jump forward here.
Ugh.
All the lighting effects. Now, this is where some interesting stuff comes in. This is the Nefarious Day Spa level. And this showed some of the effects and the new movement. I want to jump to Ratchet's dodge.
There it is.
He's got a dimensional dash now,
which was very interesting.
And then he has a dimensional
that was it right
pull.
There.
Yeah.
So this part was the most interesting to me, is this dimensional pull, whatever that is. You're pulling that rift in,
and you pull the world to you. It's like a grappling hook where you grapple.
Intro again. Yep. Oops.
It's a grappling hook where you grapple the world to you.
Yes.
Then jumping ahead, we also got some Rivet gameplay.
Of course, which I am so excited for Rivet.
And this level is insanely gorgeous.
Does anyone else find it hard to say Rivet without sounding like a frog?
Rivet. Just the lighting, the effects, the everything on this is beautiful.
In a lot of ways, even pulling up this menu, it reminded me a lot of the first planet in Tales from Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
the first bit that you saw of this planet, and then walking up and the way that menu pops up.
It's a lot like when you're up in the spires of Batu. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's that dash again. I love it.
Yeah,
I know nobody remembers the Seth Rogen Green Hornet movie, but that was like the main special effect in the Seth Rogen Green Hornet movie.
Yeah.
But they talk a lot about how it's made to show off a lot of the PS5 stuff, particularly some of the controller stuff, the haptic feedback, the resistance on the triggers, the haptic feedback, the ribbit, and then also 3D audio. Apparently, everything here really takes advantage of 3D audio. I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
I got that surround in my living room.
So make sure that if you've had your controller for over 6 months,
Right.
that you get a fresh controller to play Ratchet and Clank.
You want it to come bundled with a new controller because those haptic feedback triggers, as we found out, don't last very long.
Some of the other things that we saw in the State of Play, all 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. It was a quick one.
It was a baby one, and that's
BB.
okay. Was that Among Us is coming to PS4 and PS5 this year.
Of course.
A game that's been out since 2018 is finally getting its PlayStation release, which is very exciting, and I am very happy for Among Us people.
One of the big things about this is if you buy it on the PlayStation, you get a little Ratchet and Clank
Skin and pet.
It's a little bean.
Now, I don't
Now,
want...
Among Us really takes advantage of the PS5. Among Us uses all of the haptic feedback and the 3D audio. You're going to want that lightning fast SSD storage for Among Us on your PS5.
You know what I don't want? I don't want Clank. You want to know why?
Why?
Because do you have a pet in Among Us? Were you stupid and spent real money on it?
No.
I was. When you get killed in Among Us and you have like a pet with you, it just lays there next to your dead body like... For the rest of the game, it stays in that spot on the map looking heartbroken where you died. And you have to coast around as a ghost and see it just there like, why did you leave me?
Oh, I love that. That's actually very good and very heartbreaking, but very good.
I hate it with every ounce of my being.
Well,
I
there
think
you go.
that is fucked up.
But, you know, I won't feel as bad if it's Clank.
I guess.
Something about it being Clank.
I have like a little alien squish.
Mm-hmm.
It just...
It's like, hey, Sage. Hey,
Why
Sage,
did
you good?
leave me?
Sage, you good? It's okay. I'll be here when you come back.
So sad.
So you can have that heartbreak now with haptic controls and 3D audio and incredible high-speed SSD storage.
Yep.
Congratulations.
You know, if you're into that sort of thing.
Okay.
But that was the majority of...
That was the majority of the State of Play. And, you know, it was a baby one. They showed some Returnal stuff, too, because it's Returnal Day. Hello, Dagger. Dagger stares at you. Dagger stares at you all and wants to know. You okay? He'll be here when you come back.
Oh. He did his little head turn when he's listening. He'd go, huh?
Hey, Dagger. Is a good boy? Yeah, he's a good boy. Well, 343 continues to insist they're making this game.
Now, if I baked cookies and I went and I, on 343's door, I just, hello,
I'm your neighbor.
uh-huh.
Yes.
I brought them cookies. Do you think I could get them to tell me if they're making the game?
I mean, this new one does sound like they're making the game. They do the monthly updates. And of course, last month's update was like breaking a piano or some shit.
You making the game?
They've been putting out everything except updates about the game.
Yes.
This month they talk about the game.
They did it.
And the two biggest things that they talked about were crossplay and cross progression between Xbox and PC, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Microsoft's making big plays for the PC market.
Absolutely.
Microsoft does not want to sell you another Xbox.
No more boxes.
They don't want to do any more boxes. Please play Halo on the PC, they say. They say that it has a premier PC experience, ultra-wide and super-wide monitor support, triple keybinds, and a wider variety of advanced graphic options.
That all sounds like in theory.
No, they're making the game.
all they're doing, but like they're not showing us.
No, there's nothing new to show. They have
They're not
nothing new to
showing
show.
us anything. They're just saying you're going to be able to do this when we have the game.
Ooh, it's going to be so good. Oh, yeah.
I like
no.
Mama Faraday's take on it in the live studio audience. They said, "Please, sir, may I have an update
Oh.
in our best British voice?"
Please,
Please,
sir.
Please, 343.
I would love it ever so much.
Please, Master Chief, may I have Halo?
Oh, Johnny Spartan, when will you come home? I'll wait here for you until you return.
When will my husband return
When
for
will
the
my
war?
husband Johnny Spartan come back from the Halo?
We would like a game, please.
Do you
Look.
have cookies?
I have brownies.
Are they accessible?
Yeah. They're not like pre-cut. They're just like a pan of them.
Just,
Are we going to eat brownies during the show?
Just,
You better bring 2 forks.
Okay, just,
Anyways, y'all, it's scheduled for the same time as Silk Song. Look, we don't want to come across as haters. We love Halo. At least I can speak for myself. Halo was one of the things that initially really connected me to gaming, particularly Halo 2. We're very excited for Halo Infinite. We just feel like maybe they're in a little over their heads and they told us they were going to make the game and now they're a little confused and they don't want to admit they didn't make the game. And we want them to know that they can trust us and they can tell us. It's okay. We'll understand. Just tell us. Did Anthony do that accent and then his brain went directly to cookies? Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, he's going to get the bountiful brownie breakfast.
Last night, Saige and I are writing the show.
Uh-huh.
And she says to me, Anthony, I say, what? She says, love core. And I say, what are you talking about, Saige? She says, my aesthetic. I found the name.
Yes.
It's love core. Love core is when everything in your home, that's okay, I
Anthony.
got it,
Oh my God.
looks like a heart.
That's
Love core is
me.
when everything in your apartment is heart-shaped and looks like Valentine's Day. It's love core.
It's love core. It's a thing. Now I have a thing to Pinterest search.
Great brownies, by the way.
It's real.
Now,
Thank you.
the interesting thing about this, though, is I was like, I wonder why she's asking me to bring 2 forks.
I did not cut them up. I live alone.
And it's because when you make brownies in a heart-shaped pan, you can't really cut them into rectangles. The geometry is odd. And so you just sort of eat it out of the pan, I guess.
Also, look, I live alone. Who am I cutting them up for? It's like putting ice cream into a bowl and
For
sending
Johnny
it out of the
Spartan.
carton.
One day Johnny Spartan's going to come home from the war. He's going to want fresh baked brownies.
Anthony, do you ever put your ice cream in a bowl?
No, but I eat an entire pint in one sitting. You know this about me.
I do know that about you, and that's fair.
I don't need a bowl for ice cream. There's no reason for it. Are they special brownies? Yeah, they were made with love. That's what you mean by special brownies, right?
I would assume. Anyways, we hope there's a Halo game.
It's probably coming. There is a game that did come out today that, as I mentioned, I'm very excited about.
There are multiple.
It's Returnal Day. Damn, I am excited for Returnal. Housemarque can do no wrong. I love Housemarque. The reviews are out for Returnal, and we've got that good roundup.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go and get those scores, because as we know, scores are the only thing that matter.
That's the metric that matter.
That's the only metric. Listen, I don't care about a game until it's rated out of 5 or 10. Don't even talk to me till I've had my game score in the morning. Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing that matters. Take the creative vision of 100 people made over 2 years, and please reduce it to a 10-point scale for me,
Yep.
so I can wrap my baby head around it.
Yeah, with no detail. Just a number.
Let's go down through these numbers. IGN, 8. GameSpot, 9. Game Informer, 9.5. Games Radar, 4 out of 5. EGM, 4 out of 5. Press Start, 9. Video Gamer 9. Post Arcade 7.5. Who the fuck is Post Arcade? Why are you throwing the curve off for the rest of the class?
Yeah, right?
Paste gave it a 6. Because here's the thing about Paste. Paste should really be reviewing music and podcasts. And sometimes they review a video game. And you're like,
I've never read a Paste review.
Paste, are you good?
Never in my life.
Destructoid gave it a 7.5, but Destructoid is a shambling corpse. Easy Allies, 8.5. Gameblog French, 9. Spazio Games.
Which is an Italian publication.
Hey, it's me, Spazio. Let's go. I can say that because my name is Italian. So I get to do the Mario voice for everything. Spazio Games, 8 out of 10. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Returnal, of course, is roguelike shooting horror.
Which this is one we've been talking about for a while. Before we really knew much about the game, we knew that it was going to be a cool space horror. And that's a big win.
That's a big win. So it's basically taking some like classic Housemarque arena shooter gameplay, but putting it into like a third person over the shoulder perspective, giving it like that PS5 graphical, overlay, and just making it real pretty and beautiful and roguelike.
It's beautiful.
I'm into it.
We had a trailer early on that showed us a little more of the kind of horror elements of it and that kind of like spooky space horror.
Yeah, it looks very like looks very Ted Chiang, looks very Annihilation, looks very Arrival. It looks very Tarkovsky. You know, which is my jam. What's up, brownie breakfast? Hey.
Yeah, people were pointing out that like eating a brownie breakfast out of a heart-shaped pan on a golden fork at 8 a.m. is kind of a move. I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm at this week.
Honestly, I hang out with Saige so much I don't even notice anymore of this shit. Like Saige eating out of a heart-shaped pan with a golden fork at 8 a.m. Yeah. I don't
I'm
even
a little extra. There's another game that's out today.
No, there isn't.
A very important game that we've been talking about for a
surely
long
not.
time. Surely is. Pokemon Snap is out.
Ooh. That's my Pokemon Snap
Look
thing.
at these. Look at these.
Oh. What, do you want to take some pictures of Pokemon? Look at that the Squirtle is riding a Lapras.
Lovecore.
Go back to the Squirtle riding the Lapras.
Look at how pleased he looks.
Of course he's pleased. He's riding a Lapras.
I would like that to be me. I would like to be small Squirtle in the back of a Lapras.
I feel like you're halfway there. You're just, Saige is just a small Squirtle looking for her Lapras. Pokemon Snap is out. I do not have a reviews roundup handy because who cares? It is Pokemon, and you take pictures of them.
Yeah,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
Bits.
That thing that just happened.
Mama Faraday gave us bits. In the live studio audience. They said my favorite morning news show. It's very sweet of them.
How many bits? How many bits in a pachinko? What is that?
That's more bits from 54 Aqua Snakes.
But how many?
And look, another notification because Mama Faraday gifted a sub.
Listen. I just want the numbers back.
Are either of you going to stream Snap? Maybe. I haven't dug into it yet, and I want to check it out to see if it's a good stream game in pace.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it'll be a little slow to stream.
It might, it might be, but it might be fun just because my thing is it's Pokemon Snap. It's got this built-in nostalgia.
Yes.
It's got this built-in, you can discuss how adorable the Pokemon look. Trying to find your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Squealing. A lot of squealing, I'd imagine, the first time you see a Pokemon.
I see you.
And also, you can live stream the glow up of Todd Snap.
It's true. Hey, do you remember Todd Snap from Pokemon Snap?
Probably not.
Well, then you're in luck. Todd Snap is back for your nostalgia personally. G Soto does. Todd has had his glow up.
Look at
He's
Todd.
all grown up.
He's got that Caillou's dad hair that all like
I hate thinking
that
about
all
Caillou.
golden retriever boyfriends of bi women have. The only thing he's missing is like the big chunky sweater.
Yeah. All right.
Todd Snap now has bi wife energy.
All right, fair. I think bi wife energy gets ruined at the vest personally, but
Or it's just Pacific Northwest bi wife energy.
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
No, you're right.
He's in the greater Portland area.
No, you're right. It's Portland bi wife energy. All right, fair.
Todd Snap now drives a Subaru.
100%.
He's back. He's there. He helps you out in the beginning of the game. And more pachinko stuff. I don't know. I'm never gonna figure out the enigma machine that is you people and what you're doing.
Not that hard.
All I can tell you is that tomorrow it becomes May 1st, and
We'll set a donation.
and
goal
we
for
can
that.
have the numbers again.
Yeah.
The numbers are understandable to me. Listen. I'm a simple man. I'm a business person. I have my street MBA. I think of everything in terms of return on investment. I need to see the numbers because I'm a businessman. I'm a
Anthony, as you
businessman
know,
eating a brownie breakfast
out of a
heart-shaped
heart-shaped
tin.
at 8 a.m. Anthony, as you know, I can't see numbers.
That's true.
They look like squiggles to me. This is clear to me.
It's not you can't do it without consent, obviously, but it's sometimes fun to just say a bunch of numbers at Saige.
It's so mean to me. Do not do that.
You have to do it
It's
with
fun
consent.
for one person in this room.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do it, but I have to let her know that it's coming. I have to say, okay, there's a lot of numbers in this.
It hurts my brain. Numbers aren't real to me.
Numbers aren't real. Nothing's real.
Anyways.
Todd Snap is real. Todd Snap and his love for his bi wife.
And we love that.
Who do you think is Todd Snap's bi wife? If you had to pick a trainer.
Oh, what is her name?
Misty does have that tomboy energy that makes me think she may be grown up bi.
I'm thinking of, is it Nessa? Yeah. I'd love it if it was Nessa, but I don't think he could keep up. Now that I remember how freaking hot Nessa is.
Oh no, but I think you're right. I do. I think
This is Nessa. So that was the first one that came to mind for me.
no, but you know all those like incredibly gorgeous bi women that are like,
Yes.
this is my.
I think about it every day.
You're like I don't know them all, but hey,
I would like to.
I'd like to. You're like, I try to know as many as possible. Why do you ask? Because they all are like, you'll meet like an incredibly hot, super dynamic, like outgoing bi woman.
Yes.
And she'll be like, oh yeah, my boyfriend or my husband or my partner, the love of my life.
Yeah.
So great, so wonderful. And then you meet him and he's like a cardboard box.
Yeah.
He's like a cardboard box that like brings her snacks.
Yes.
I think that's
Which
Todd,
is all we require.
I think that's Todd Snap.
Yeah.
I think it's Todd Snap and Nessa's
Sometimes
relationship.
he's Todd Snacks.
Todd's a snack. Todd Snacks, you know what I'm saying?
I want to buy the very best.
I think,
Finding games.
and it also makes sense because Nessa's out there. She's the water type gym leader, right? She's doing things. She's out there in the championships, and Todd Snap just sits in the stands taking excellent photos of her achievements because he's an Instagram husband now.
Yeah.
He was born to be an Instagram husband.
As someone who once settled down with an Instagram husband. As someone who once dated a cardboard box. As a bi woman who had to introduce my boyfriend to people going, really? Yeah. I know.
It's just a cardboard standee of Caillou's dad that pays half the rent. Sometimes. Sometimes doesn't pay their share of the rent.
Can't confirm.
Um,
Took good photos.
You got it, but that's how they earn their keep. Hey, it's official. Dogs are better than cats.
I disagree.
You can't disagree with numbers. As I said earlier, I'm a numbers person. I need to see the data. And the data
Tell me the numbers.
has been seen. Do I have your consent to tell you numbers?
You have my consent to tell me numbers.
Famitsu, the Japanese gaming publication, the one true Japanese gaming publication, ran a poll of Monster Hunter Rise players and asked them questions about their favorite weapon, their favorite monster, a bunch of stuff, eventually culminating in the important question. Palamutes or Palicos, Saige? The good doggos or the kittens? Well, that's a monster.
Tell it to Ghost. I dare you.
You're a monster. I tell it to Ghost every morning. Every morning we do a show, I walk in here and I say, Buongiorno il monstro.
He does.
Como vai?
That's not a joke.
Como vai il monstro? Here's what's up. 5,285 Monster Hunter Rise players responded.
But you can ride the dogs. That's an unfair advantage.
70%, almost 4,000 of the people said Palamutes better
Thank you.
than
Vacuous
Palicos.
Mermaid said unfair because the dog is a car.
But
It's
cat
not-
do a life revive. Cat do an assist. Cat can be chef. The cats in Monster Hunter have a huge advantage. And yet, Doggo is girl boss. According to this, Doggo is girl boss. Sorry. Cats can be chefs. Life Cereal says cats can be chefs. Cats can be anything they want.
Never talk to me or my son ever again.
Here's the thing. I would get Dagger up here. But they hate being close together.
They do. Ghost would hiss.
I don't know
Probably
what they
hit
would
Dagger.
do. Yeah. They would wind up squirming. Things would get, a heart-shaped pan would get knocked over. Have we
Yeah.
already eaten half a pan of brownies?
Something like that.
Have we already eaten?
I had a brownie last night, so there was one out.
Yeah, we've eaten half a pan of brownies. That's okay. We'll just put this down. I don't have to have any more brownies. That's not a thing I have to do. I can stop eating brownies whenever I want. Anyway, so dogs are better than cats. It's been decided. And sorry, El Monstro.
We disagree.
Look how he leans his head in.
He's a sweet boy.
You're only allowed to touch him on his head.
Yeah.
If you try to touch his body, he'll swipe
Kill
at you.
you.
He will literally swipe at you.
Yeah.
And then Sage's other cat, you can only touch the body and not the head, or she'll swipe at you.
She will not.
One of them always tells the truth, and one of them always lies. You have to keep it. You have to keep it straight.
That's not true. She doesn't swipe. She's very nice.
In addition to new games,
Yeah,
there are also old games,
there are.
and they're gross and old, and we don't talk about them anymore.
That's not true. It's
They're
beautiful.
ill, they're games, and they're old, and they've been out for weeks, and they're gross, and why would we touch them ever again?
Well, because they're getting a next gen update, so they're not going to be gross or old anymore. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is getting its next gen update over the summer.
If you were like, the game's pretty good, but I can't see all of Cameron Monaghan's pores. It's a good game. You
I've
know,
seen 'em.
it's a good game in the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean? And like, it was fun, and it was kind of like Metroidvania-ish, and it was really original and inventive. But I just couldn't see all of Cam's pores.
Yeah.
Baby, you can now.
I mean, kind of. As Vacuous Mermaid pointed out, ray trace those ponchos.
Yo,
You know we both have an issue with the ponchos.
yeah. They weren't ray traced.
That was the problem.
That
we
was
had
the
with them.
problem. Well, no, and listen. I spoke to Respawn about this. I literally did. I literally spoke to the head of Respawn about this. I said,
Why Poncho?
Poncho's not doing it for me, dog. What's up with the ponchos? And he's like, yeah, we've heard people. He's like, we love the ponchos. And, he comes from he did the whole thing. He was like, he comes from a water planet and he's a working class guy and he's trying to hide. And I was like, but he's the only guy in the galaxy with a poncho. He's not hiding. When you're the only man.
He's poncho guy.
He's the poncho guy. It's like, yeah, be on the lookout for one of the only surviving Jedi from Order 66. Oh, what does he look like?
He wears a poncho.
He looks like he's heading to Coachella with his art school friends. Oh, that douchebag. Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh,
douchebag.
yeah, no, I know that guy.
No, I know that guy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
White guy in a poncho? Yeah, I saw that guy.
Yeah, hard to miss a white guy in a poncho.
Yeah,
absolutely. Disagree. Poncho's not the best.
Poncho's not the best.
There are ponchos in Star Wars.
Not in that game though. He's the only guy with a poncho.
He's just the poncho guy.
He's
also,
literally the only guy with a poncho.
Life Serial asked BD1 toys when. I cannot believe we have not gotten BD1 merch.
It's fucking wild to me,
isn't it?
So
BD1, I think, is one of my favorite droids ever.
I like him because he looks like a toy. He looks like a robot companion from an 80s children's movie. He looks like Rob the Robot. He looks like a Muppet.
I love BD1.
He looks like
so
batteries
much.
not included.
Yeah.
Do you remember
right.
batteries
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
included? I love BD1, and I actually did ask. I was like, yo. I asked John Drake, and you can tweet at him, John T. Drake on Twitter, and let him know I sent you, and he'll be super happy with you and me. I said, where's the BD1 special edition? We talk about this all the time on the show. We don't do special editions. We don't believe in them. But a special edition of Fallen Order that comes with a BD1. Come on.
Come on.
Why was that not a thing?
I would also kill for BD1. Unquestionably.
The only thing I have is I have a BD1 pin.
I wouldn't even think about it.
I have a BD1 pin that I got from EA Play from the launch event. And then I have a Funko. I have my Cameron Monaghan Funko Pop that comes with a little Funko BB1 or BD1.
That's my boy.
These are the robots from Batteries Not Included.
I also like BD more than BB. I agree.
Oh, BD1 is my favorite new droid.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Batteries Not Included is a very adorable movie. Anthony, no frivolous spending Carboni, says G Soto 83 in the live studio audience, and that is correct. I don't spend any money frivolously.
Frivolously.
I
I do like Dia.
marriage
His what
brings us together today.
I do like Dia.
Dio's great.
Dio's great.
No, thank you.
Dio is over BB-8 for me.
Mm-hmm.
But him and BD-1.
I think I like BB-8 more than Dio, and I think that's only because it just might.
Yeah, I think I know why.
Yeah, I
love a droid that says no, thank you. That was written for me.
Such a good moment. Such a good moment. I don't think Dio was given enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
BB-8 really felt like that old sort of R2 style. This is our friend. BB-8. This is our companion BB-8. Whereas like Dio was sort of didn't have much. There was a lot going on in 9, and I think Dio got a little lost. But also, and I'm not that guy usually. You know me. I'm not the guy that's like Star Wars canon says this, and so I'm fine with things being changed up. I like a change.
Or a space opera.
Have fun. As long as it's fun. And it works in the moment, I don't care if it contradicts some comic book that came out 12 years ago or whatever.
Yes.
Like, do what's best in the moment. Astromechs don't speak. Droids speak. Dio is an astromech. If Dio can speak, R2 can speak. If Dio can speak, BB-8 can speak.
See, I disagree with that because I think that clearly Dio was probably made after. Like, you can just upgrade technology.
He was probably made after R2, but he wasn't made. He was made around the same time as BB-8, though.
We don't know that.
Also, he's made of junk. How come the junk gets to talk? Talking junk.
I don't know. I just think that would be not the hill to die on for me because it's just like, yeah, they made this one talk.
And like I said, I'm fine with so many things.
He has different hardware. It's a robot.
I'm fine with so many things. And I don't know why this one sticks.
That's so odd. If there were a bunch of...
Because it's such a strange
Hear me out.
detail, right? It's such a strange, small detail. And I don't know why it sticks with me so much.
If there were a bunch of porgs and one porg could talk...
Absolutely not.
What the fuck? Right? I would be like, what the fuck?
Unless it could talk like a mynah bird could talk. Like the porg could only sort of repeat things back and only knew a few phrases.
Yeah, it talks like a corvid. Mm-hmm. And just goes, how are ya?
It can do a perfect car alarm.
How are ya?
It can do a perfect car alarm noise and a perfect blaster noise.
Yeah, that would naturally. Anyways.
They would walk in and they'd be like, what happened here?
Right.
And there would be a porg that would be like, pew, 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 pew. And they'd be like, there was a battle.
But, like, with that in mind, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But, like, it's a droid. You just put different fucking parts in it.
I know. And this is the thing. Anachrontopian Prime in the live studio audience is like, Anthony is literally okay with changes to canon. Yeah. And for some reason, Dio talking, I was like, astromechs don't talk. They go, wow!
Anyways, I love Dio very much. I'm a big fan. And
also,
I feel
BD1 talks in this next-gen update. That's what we're getting at. BD1 will now talk to you in the next-gen update, and he has a British accent. Did that bother you? It should.
No, I was just finishing. As I was saying, I think that when it comes to the BB-8 versus Dio thing, BB-8 had a lot more time, but I think Dio showed more personality in a short amount of time. I don't think BB-8 has enough personality.
He was allowed to because he spoke immediately.
I don't think BB-8 was given... R2 has a ton of personality.
Remember when BB-8 gave a thumbs up with a flame?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got personality.
I just think Dio has more personality.
He's got personality.
Let's say he doesn't have one. Doesn't have enough.
I will say it's fun to see like a lot of my friends who are neuroatypical in different ways did say that they were like, I really identified with Dio. Like Dio seems like a very like
please don't touch me, no thank you.
Yeah, seemed like a droid with some stuff going on.
Yeah,
and I did like that.
That's what I'm saying is when you get to a party and just the rolling around lower than everybody at a party going, oh, no, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
It's like if Dagger could talk.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you don't have to touch me. No, thanks.
Right.
Oh, that's not, I am actually not a toy for you. I'm a living thing.
Yep.
The Fallen Order Next Gen update just says that more details are coming soon, but will bring technical improvements. Fallen Order is also on Game Pass. Mm-hmm. So ostensibly, those improvements will come to Game Pass. So that's exciting.
That's pretty cool. We love to see it.
We love to see it. We love to DLC it.
Hey! You guys playing those Outer Wilds?
You like that Outer Wilds?
If you're into that sort of thing.
You in that time loop?
If you are, very exciting for you, you might be getting some DLC soon.
Should be getting some TLC soon, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
No, seriously, look at me. I'm very lonely. Okay, go on.
Simon Carlos said, Outer Wilds fans, looks like some DLC Echoes of the Eye unexpectedly popped up in Steam records. And Annapurna retweeted it with just an eye.
Just an eyeball.
Just an eyeball.
Just one eyeball.
I love that.
Outer Wilds DLC. So that means if you have not jumped into Outer Wilds yet, now is a perfect time to do so, because that DLC do be coming. Now, what happens if the bits get caught in the cup there? Does that change anything?
No.
Then why is it there?
It's just a way to display it, Anthony.
How come they all don't fall into the cup?
None of them have. They're all just passing through.
Does Bezos take the ones that don't fall into the cup?
Bezos takes everything anyways.
So anything that doesn't fall into the cup goes to Bezos, is just wasted.
Bezos takes half of everything we make on Twitch. Which is a reminder that he has no touch on donations. Those do directly support the show and take money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. Anyways, it was listed on April 28th.
What was?
The Outer Wilds DLC. What?
I'm with you.
What? You weren't?
I forgot for a second what we were talking about. The bits are confusing to me. I need more brownie.
I don't know if you do this morning.
Leave me alone. Don't look at me. I'm hideous. Let me
Hey,
eat these
Anthony, something different this morning?
Let me eat these brownies straight out of the pan.
Sure. Echoes of the Eye. We don't have a release date for. What? Are you laughing at Son of Orpheus saying Kobe?
Son of Orpheus did one bit and he goes, Kobe! And threw it into the cup. I changed my mind on the cup. The cup is good.
That's all it took. Thank you, Orf. We appreciate that.
Kobe!
Very, very much. The game's been out since 2019. It's very, very due for some new stuff. And this might be my time to get into it, because this was also one I missed.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some Outer Wilds gameplay, and I'm real into it. But this might be a good time.
It's very much going to be your thing. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot.
I'm very excited about that. Hey, Anthony, we're a business show, aren't we?
We are a business show. I do have my street MBA. Mm-hmm. Learned it. I got it out in the world, living life.
Yep.
Doing deals.
I, of course, did pass the bar in the state of Virginia, so I am qualified to give you legal advice. Hey, Elliot, thank you. Thank you. Particularly because it says, suck it, Bezos. We love to see it.
Admit that the flying fox is your yacht, coward. There are some business decisions that have been made recently.
Yep.
That we don't understand. It's a bit like the bits in a cup. It's just, nobody understands why it exists or how it works or why they would have made that decision. And I want to give this, I don't usually do this.
Uh-huh.
I want to give IGN the Headline of the Day award for this.
That's fair. I think we should start doing those. We used to do Cake of the Week, and people stopped showing their cake.
Hey, yeah. What's that about? Hey, everybody. When did you become such a bunch of Puritans? Hey, pop culture. Where's all the ass?
Mr. Snap is Cake of the Week.
Todd Snap is Cake of the Week.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to see his cake.
No, but like...
I bet it's flat.
Yeah.
I bet he's got a real flat butt.
100%. He's a cardboard boy.
He's got a real flat butt and he wears skinny jeans, but they're somehow loose up around
but
the
as
ass.
a bi
You know
girl,
what I mean?
we love him for it.
He wears those skinny jeans from like 2006.
Right.
Still.
Yeah.
That are like really tight around his thighs and his calves.
Uh-huh.
Which are practically non-existent, but then it's real loose around the butt.
Yeah. And Nessa walks behind him and goes... all the time.
Stop it.
Yeah.
While he's folding her laundry.
Yeah.
This is the headline of the week from IGN. Google Stadia, from the company that revolutionized search engines, finally has a search bar.
Anthony, for the people that are new here, just in case, how many Google Stadias do you have?
Saige, I have a perfectly normal and regular amount of Google Stadias, which is 3.
0? Oh.
I have 3 Google Stadias.
I'd like you to know a normal amount is 0.
I mean, agree to disagree. I bought 1. They sent me 2 more. You could not previously search for games on Google Stadia. There was no search bar on Google Stadia to search for games.
Oh, that's so funny. Good job, Google. This console's hilarious.
Google Stadia has been out for more than 500 days. We are approaching the end of 2 years of Google Stadia. They did not have a search bar.
Honestly, Google, thank you for this gem.
There will also be a
Always
new
gives us something to talk
updated
about.
UI along with better library sorting that will let players keep track of purchased free and pro games. There was no way to do that previously. And we're all going, no, that's a lie. Google Stadia must have had a search bar before, but we don't know because none of us use Google Stadia. So you're like, no, it must have, but you can't say for sure because you've never logged on to Google Stadia.
And IGN's only lied to us a few times.
The last time I logged into Google Stadia was when it first came out, and there were only like 4 games on it, so there was no need for a search bar. Right. I could name them. It was Samurai Showdown, Destiny 2, Bomberman R, and there was one more. I can't remember what it was. But there were only like 4 games on Google Stadia. So what was there to search for? Yeah, maybe it was Assassin's Creed. Maybe it was Pachinko. Maybe it was Bits in a Cup. I don't know. I have 3 Google Stadias. It's hard to keep up with them all.
Did Google want this to fail?
We don't know, but it seemed like yes.
It do seem that way, but it doesn't make any sense.
What if I just ate brownies?
I think we know what if.
It's a lot of sugar for me this early.
I'm noticing.
I don't usually have this much sugar this early.
I'm also going to call your bluff on that. I'll tell you that's a lie to yourself and to me.
What are you talking about?
Do you know how often? Do you know, Anthony, how long have I known you? A little over a year?
Oh.
Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks.
Like a year and a half. The amount of times in the year and a half I have known Anthony that he has looked at me and said, and I quote, this is exactly what he calls it, do you want to get a sugar breakfast? That's what he calls it. Y'all. That's really the name that Anthony has for it, and that means getting donuts.
The show will be over, or it'll be like a Saturday, and I'll text Saige in the morning. I'll be like, "Hey, you want to get sugar breakfast?"
I assume he's always doing this when he says it.
Sugar breakfast for me?
Is it for me? Yeah. It means going somewhere and getting a cookie or a donut.
So, okay. But normally, when I say that, it's because your breakfast is always sugar breakfast.
That's not true.
Because if we go somewhere, 9 times out of 10, Saige is going to want a chocolate chip cookie for breakfast.
That's only because it's coffee shops and all they have is cookies.
That's literally not true. I'll walk out with a giant breakfast sandwich, and Saige will be like, "Oh, all they have is cookies." Like the little fucking cookie monster she is.
I choked.
Oh,
hi, Dagger. Dagger, come to check on me. I had just taken a sip of water and he made me inhale and I actually choked.
Dagger is an emotional support animal and immediately ran to Saige. In more business news, because we are a business show and we might as well continue talking about business.
Relevant to discussing places you can get games.
Mm-hmm.
The Microsoft Store is making an adjustment to their store. The store is making
They're removing the search bar. The search board. The store to store. The board.
One sock
Microsoft
cutter,
would like to announce the hiring of the Swedish chef as head of portfolio for Micro. Horkenborkendor. One sock cutter, he cuts socks. 2 sock cutters, they cut socks. 3 sock cutters, they cut socks. 4 sock cutters, they cut socks. 5 sock cutters, they cut socks. We did it.
We did it. I'm very proud of us.
Look, they're getting rid of the search bar because they want to be more like Google Stadia.
That's incorrect. What they are doing is trying to make themselves a little more like Epic Games, and they're adjusting the cut that they take from developers. And devs that put their game in the Microsoft Store will now be receiving 88% of the revenue.
If you are keeping track and you're not as good at math and business as me with my street MBA, that means that Microsoft and Epic are only taking 12% from developers. Compare this to Steam and Apple's 30% from developers.
Yep.
And you can see why, perhaps, a lot of games are signing those exclusive deals with Game Pass, Microsoft, or the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's as if competition is better for the consumer. I know, right?
Woo!
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for that.
A reminder for everybody, at the end of the show, we go through and we thank everybody who subscribed, everybody who gave bits, everybody who donated. So just so you know, if we
All
don't
of the
acknowledge it, it's
teachers
not
that
'cause we
made a
don't love
difference
you,
in our
babies.
lives.
That's not true.
All of the...
I was homeschooled. I'm the teacher that made a difference in my life.
And she spends a lot of time at the end of every show thanking herself.
I got water up my nose.
You had the greatest teacher of all.
I didn't think about when I was saying that. Anyways, yeah, 88% is very good.
That's great.
Sarah Bond, Microsoft's head of game creator experience and ecosystem, said having clear, no strings attached revenue share means that developers can bring more games to players and find greater commercial success from doing so.
I mean, especially as we're moving into the era of the AA game and the large indie game, this is going to make an incredibly huge difference. We're seeing a larger and larger gulf of time between development time of major games from major studios and smaller games. Smaller games are filling up more and more and more of everybody's portfolio and collection right now. And if you are a smaller house, 30% share versus 12% share, for somebody like an Activision or a Ubisoft, yes, or an EA, that's an argument that could make you an extra $1 billion or $2, right?
Yeah.
But for a small development team, that's the difference between we're paying everybody or we're working for free on this one.
Right.
If they're the founders of the company, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, we made this game and it sold, it sold 100,000 copies and we paid ourselves $30,000 a year to develop it, right?
Right.
And we just hope it takes off and it gets big. This
I
is
think
going to
it's
be
great.
huge.
This is huge.
It's going to be huge. But somebody said butts in chat, so we can't talk about it. We got to shut down for 5 minutes.
It was not when they said butts. It was yay butts, and that's very funny. He was trying to say yay bits, and he said yay butts.
Once again, Saige homeschooled entirely by herself.
I did. No one taught me. They were supposed to. I looked at the teacher's manual, and it would tell me how to teach it, and I would go, okay, and I would try to cover up the answers, and I would try to answer it myself.
Did you stand up front and say it to yourself, and then sit down at a desk in front of yourself?
No, and then I would have to check to see if I got the answers right, and I'd have to circle it in my own red pen. If I got it wrong.
Do you want to get more sugar breakfast after this?
No. What? No.
No or yes? Do you want to go to the Good Donut place?
No. I could.
Maybe though, right?
Anyways, news.
Anyways, news.
It's already 9:06. We've only talked about like 2 things.
I think this is the best show we've ever done. In more business news, Bobby Kotick, humanitarian, a charitable human being, CEO of Activision Blizzard.
Incorrect.
Just a good bean.
Absolutely not.
Oh, Bobby Kotick, the good man, is taking a pay cut this year. He's having his pay this year. Down from $1.75 million a year to $875,000 a year.
How will he pay for his sweater vests?
It's hard to say. How will he pay for his wayfarers? Who knows? Bonuses. Apparently, the bonus structure is potentially halved by 50% as well for him. Lean in close. I'm going to tell you a little something.
I'm going to eat a brownie.
It says that the bonus structure is halved, and it is overall, but he still can and probably will make a 200% salary bonus plus his stock options. This is one of those moves that tells me Activision Blizzard is about to do a round of layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
This is
They
one of
wanna
those.
look good when they do it.
This is one of those rounds. This is one of those rounds where he does this, publicly says that this is what he's doing, and then Activision Blizzard comes out in a couple weeks and says, you know, we're all tightening the belt around here, including me, Bobby Kotick, charitable man, and you know, I took the pay cut to hoping that we could save a few of these employees, and we just couldn't. We just couldn't. Whoa. Woe is me, Bobby Kotick. Angel boy.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich.
Eat them. Eat
Eat
Bobby Kotick.
In a 2020 statement, the CTW Investment Group pointed out that Activision Blizzard employees typically earn less than 1/3 of 1% of the CEO's earnings, with some folks earning under $40K a year at Activision. Meanwhile, the company has gone through several rounds of layoffs, losing hundreds of employees in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Kotick spoke about the layoffs at the GamesBeat Summit earlier this week, saying that 2,500 possible job openings would be happening at the company soon. And he says, gosh, we might not even be able to hire as many people as we want to, just because there's so many other great places hiring, and we're all doing so much good for employees. Where will we even find all the talent?
I saw one the other
Things
day.
are just too good for employees right now in the year of our Lord 2021.
You know that meme of somebody riding a bike and then they hurt themselves and they are faced with the consequences of their own actions?
Yeah.
There was one of those the other day that it was like, we want very good employees. And then it was like, $25,000 a year.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, why can't we find any good employees?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, I saw one that was like, $10 an hour or $5 an hour plus tips. And then the spoke in the wheels, and it was like, why does everyone keep quitting? We can't hang on to employees.
Oh my God.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
People are donating for sugar breakfast.
I mean, if they're donating for it, I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know what this story is. I'm getting the idea, but in their spreadsheet, you just said Netflix renewed for 4th and final season.
Yeah, Netflix is over.
This is the final season of Netflix, everybody.
This is it. It's Castlevania, sorry.
Ooh, Castlevania is such a good show.
It is getting its 4th and final season. It was announced that it was renewed, and then it was announced that this will be the final. This will be the final one.
It was announced with a tweet from Netflix saying, back to where we started. Castlevania Season 4 streams on May 13th.
Old Hector, this is it. This is it for our boy. I would love to see. Now they say that this is the last season, but can we put on our speculation hats, Saige?
Spin-off show.
Yes.
Spin-off show.
Well, there are multiple Castlevania stories across multiple timelines.
Yep.
Now that they've proven with Hector that Castlevania works,
And God, does it work?
can we get a fucking Richter?
Have
Can
y'all
we
watched
get a
it?
Simon? Can we get a Trevor up in here? What's up? What's up? Can we?
Y'all, Castlevania is a very good show, and if you're not actively watching it, I highly recommend it. All of them, get more cookies.
Whew. Whew.
It's a very good time. I'm not caught up. I have some more to watch before season 4 starts, but I am
It's so good.
a big fan.
It's so good.
It's very good.
It had no right.
Honestly.
We've never had a video game animated adaptation so good.
No, absolutely not. Back when I was doing my show Second Breakfast, there was an episode where we were going to be talking about some Castlevania stuff, and I was like, I'm going to go get informed. I'm going to watch some Castlevania. I only got to watch a couple episodes. I got to get the idea for this little bit.
It's too good.
I couldn't believe that people hadn't been yelling at me to watch Castlevania. So this is me yelling at you to watch Castlevania so you don't have that moment.
And also play the newly leaked prototype of the Dreamcast unreleased Castlevania game.
Yeah, I'll also do that. That's
Also
pretty good.
do that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Let's
Let's talk about more Netflix stuff.
talk about more Netflix stuff.
Let's do it. We got a trailer for a new series coming to Netflix, and the trailer looks absolutely fantastic.
Y'all like that Jeff Lemire? Y'all like that Jeff Lemire comics? You like that stuff? You like Sweet Tooth? I fucking love Sweet Tooth.
Now, I'm not super familiar with the comic, but we are getting a Netflix adaptation of Sweet Tooth. And, ooh,
This is my shit right here.
it looks trippy and weird, which is everything that Anthony and I love.
Look, Sweet Tooth is great. And if you're not going to make a saga series, then Sweet Tooth is definitely my second choice.
Now, Netflix is doing their "Hey, we're very good at aesthetics" thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
The color grading on it, and the color choices in like that hospital, for instance.
It's beautiful.
It's the series of unfortunate events effect.
Yeah, they've definitely, I mean, stylistically, they have nailed this
They have
so much.
It is phenomenal. You could not tell me anything about it, and I would watch it purely based on the visuals.
Look at this shit.
But the like yellow tones and all the foresty scenes with the like harsh contrast of the blue in the hospital and the like desaturation of it overall,
It's
phenomenal.
good because it has that 60s travel photo or like
Don't want to show too much of the trailer before we get
get YMCA'd.
yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm very, very excited for it. Aesthetically pleasing, in other words, fly.
Like, come on. Hell yeah, this is what I want. It's weird and it's unnatural and I like it.
You got to check out the comic. You'll love the comic.
I bet.
I'll lend you the comic.
I just have so little time for comics.
Comics are so quick. That's the beauty of comics.
I get it. I get it.
Invincible. This is more streaming news.
Yeah.
Invincible, currently the best superhero show on television.
Mm-hmm.
Renewed not just for season 2,
Also no.
but also season 3.
Very good. But
Technically, WandaVision is not running anymore. Current.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn's been on hiatus for a while.
I guess, but it's still actively in production.
Is it?
Yeah, they're making another season.
All right. Yeah, I might like Harley Quinn a little bit more, but Invincible's very good. Renewed not just for season 2, but for season 3.
That's very exciting.
If you have not caught up on Invincible, the season finale was unbelievable. It's a short season. You can watch it all in a day.
Mm-hmm.
You should. I'm not going to tell you anything else, but one thing that I will say is Invincible does an amazing job of co-opting the look of late 90s and early 2000s Saturday morning animated superhero series
Yeah. I agree.
and your expectations of those series and fucks with them. It's so good.
I've only watched a little of it. I do need to go through and watch the whole season, but agreed, it's very, very good. We were talking about some video game adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all looking forward to this Borderlands movie.
Hey, shout out to friend of the show and one of my best friends, Janina Gavankar, who's playing Commander Knox in the fucking Borderlands movie.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. So many.
Very happy for
So
her.
much good. Jack Black is Claptrap.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Kevin Hart. We've got so many good. Kate Blanchett is there.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett is there.
Kate Blanchett is there.
Mm-hmm.
She's a big bad lady from Atlas. It's so good. But there were a couple characters that were still missing. Why is that? Why is that 2 generations of people's crush? 2 generations of bisexual crush? Gina Gershon?
As Moxie. Moxie's one of those castings that everybody was waiting on. They were like, all right, but who for Moxie? We all care a lot about Moxie. We're all waiting to see who's going to be Moxie.
No, I'm not one of those Borderlands fans that's like all in on Moxie.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're out there, and that's cool
Yeah.
and good for them. Fucking Cheyenne Jackson is Jacobs. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Right?
Ugh.
Like, come on.
So good. Hey, IGN, put Janina in that cast roundup, you fucking cowards. You know who Janina is. The fuck. Gina Gershon as Moxie is a huge deal,
Just for the people.
and we're very excited for it. We're very excited for it. And not only that, I feel like this movie,
For those who
Lionsgate,
might not be familiar.
Lionsgate is really throwing a lot into this. They're throwing a lot of money into it. They're throwing a lot of talent into it. They're throwing a lot of marketing into it. And it seems like they really want to set it up as a quality franchise. And so, look, Gearbox is a weird place that has a lot of problems. And we know that. But we can love Borderlands. And we can hope that a Borderlands movie does really well and is very good.
So far, it seems like they are giving it a lot of tools to succeed. They are doing well in casting, and not just in like, look at all these impressive names, but instead like thoughtful casting.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign for the movie. We all know adaptations of games are difficult and usually not great, but I have high hopes for this.
Yeah.
Like, it's given me a little hope for it.
Give me a little. And for people who are wondering why Janina is Nox, I think they're taking two of the bad guys and mushing them together. There was Nox, and then there was that Crimson Lance commander. I forget. It's been a while since I played Borderlands, but I think they're pushing the two of them together because it was General Nox and Commandant something, and they're making him one character. Somebody's asked. Death and Saints in the live studio audience says, "But who's Handsome Jack? Find out in Borderlands 2 if Borderlands does well."
Yep.
But all I'll say is that Bruce Campbell and Nathan Fillion are both alive.
Yeah, that's fair. Here's something I'm very excited for. Another piece of like movie news.
When I put this in, I was like, man, I'm psyched about this. And I hope Saige hasn't heard about it because I want to see her face when she sees it.
I hadn't heard about it, so this is the first time I'm seeing the photos. We are getting a Children of the Corn reboot. I love Children of the Corn. I think children are the most terrifying thing on the planet. I think they are an excellent tool for horror, and in general, I am a huge horror fan. So with that in mind, we got some photos from the Children of the Corn reboot.
So excited.
And God, that looks good.
Ooh, he who walks between the rows.
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like this little girl has my energy.
That little girl is going to fuck some shit up.
Yeah. She's only 2 feet tall, but she's got a big old fucking pole on her arm.
Or, just like you,
Or-
she's 19 feet tall, and that's a telephone pole.
Yes. She's got a little, like, whatever. What's a gardening tool? A rake?
What do people use? What is a stick used for?
Look, it's a gardening tool. It's got the...
What do people do? What is physical labor? Somebody explain physical labor.
Like, tag yourself, everybody.
Everybody tag yourself.
Everybody tag yourself. Who are you in the photo? Every kid in here looks like an absolute badass. Look at this. Look at this one with the dress. Like, come on.
Tag yourself. I'm the kid in the back left who doesn't know if he wants to be there.
I'm very excited about this. This one?
No, all the way to the left.
Oh, with the stripes standing with his arms far
where he's
apart?
just like, are we doing a tough guy thing? Are we tough right now? All right.
I'm Ginger Overall Kid. It's a pitchfork. Thank you. I could not remember the name of that.
Weird kid in a hat.
Thank
Great.
you, everybody.
Hidden girl all the way in the back. That's some energy.
The one that's just like one face peeking around.
It's like,
I'm the corn.
it's me, the corn.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to post this photo to the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you all to go tag yourself there.
And then what?
I'll giggle.
And
I'll
then
giggle
what?
at it later. So that everybody can like see the photo properly. I'm just going to post it there.
Just post it there. Just post it there. And then, you can if you're here right now, you can put a little arrow next to yourself in chat. Tell us what time it is where you are. Should be 9:22.
in our Discord right now.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. In more movie news, He-Man. It's a thing. People fondly remember it. There's a new animated series coming from Kevin Smith. But also, did you know that there's been a movie in development? A Masters of the Universe movie that's been in development for a few years. It was literally a cartoon made to sell toys.
Yeah, we don't need it.
I was obsessed with it when I was a kid, but it's not a thing that has aged well, It's not like I don't know. It's not great. And
When I think of He-Man, I think of He-Man things first.
yeah.
When I think of He-Man, the first thing I think of and cry.
Oh my God, do I cry?
Yeah. And he prays. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the first thing that comes to mind for
some
me.
stuff has some of that stuff from that era has aged better than Thundercats had a little bit of lore to it and stuff. It was still bad, but had a little bit of lore. When they rebooted Thundercats, I was like, yeah, okay, reboot Thundercats. He-Man's just so weird to me because there's not much going on. Like when they brought back She-Ra first and people were like, why are they bringing back She-Ra first? I was like, because it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because you can do anything.
Never mattered.
Because you can do anything you want with She-Ra as long as it's clever and cool.
Yeah.
And people will love it. Mm-hmm. If you change one thing about He-Man, the neckbeards, the 50-year-old neckbeards will come out of the walls.
Yeah, with She-Ra, it was a bunch of nerdy women and like generally femme people being like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Well, yes, thank you. Oh my God. When they made She-Ra, we were just like, yeah. Thanks.
Neat.
He-Man, they're going to be like, wow. Technically.
Yeah. So like He-Man was D&D that never went on quests. Yeah. The new She-Ra series is great, but apparently there was the new Kevin Smith series is supposed to be very, very good. Friend of the show, Griffin Newman, who was Arthur on The Tick, is going to be Orko, which is fun. Yay, Griffin. Yeah. But this live action movie sounds really weird because do you know who's been attached to this movie for 2 years of development to play He-Man?
Noah Centineo.
Noah Centineo. Netflix's favorite fuckboy.
And also, all of my teenage friends' favorite fuckboy. As a kid who grew up in LA.
Yeah. Noah Centineo, who's just like, he looks like every picture that like my cousins and nieces would send me of like their first college boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that guy's going to treat you so horribly. And then like 3 months later, they'd be like, he treated me so horribly.
Like, like literally though. Yes for me, but literally. Yes for me, but actor kid. And that's just...
Anyways, he was supposed to be He-Man. And here's the thing, regardless of what vibe he gives off, he's also just kind of like he's kind of a stick boy.
Yeah.
And like, I'm all for, changing things up, but I think the only characteristic that He-Man ever had was that he was big. Mm-hmm. He-Man big and strong.
Yeah.
It just feels weird.
It was a strange casting choice.
It was a strange casting choice, but he's apparently out.
Yes. That's what the story is, y'all. We were getting there.
He's apparently out.
But he has been attached to it all this time, and it would appear not anymore.
Yeah, it's weird that he was attached for so long, and he apparently exited. Like the way it's phrased is like, it's not that anybody woke up one morning and was like,
this was a weird casting.
Yeah, it was
choice.
like, why did we do this? Let's find a bigger dude.
Yeah.
No, this was Noah Centineo was like, sorry, my Uber's here, babe. Have a good day, I guess. And like, I'll call you or you call me or like whatever. This week's crazy, but like,
It's the new TikTok.
yeah, the ice in the veins. Self-aware can opener in the live studio audience says, I think I maybe get He-Man and Conan mixed up a bit. That's by design.
Yes.
He-Man is Conan for children.
Yeah.
That's you are correct.
Yes, absolutely.
There's no shame in that.
I would love to know from the live studio audience who you think would be a good fit for it. I did see John Cena in there.
Sure. He big man.
He big man. I think that actually makes sense and would probably, like if they did a comedic, like a truly comedic take on it with John Cena.
I'd love that.
I think that would be good.
A tongue-in-cheek He-Man movie.
Yeah.
Let Kevin Smith do something like serious and build the lore of Eternia or whatever on his show.
Yeah.
And then let the movie be weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Their names are like Beastman and Trapjaw and shit.
Right.
When I was a kid, I had a He-Man figure named Skunkor. He was a skunk man, and he smelled like a skunk, and my mother hated it. I asked and asked so much for skunk ore. And she was like, please don't make me buy skunk ore. You can have any of these. Which one do you want? I was like, I want skunk ore. I want a skunk ore. He'd do a smell. There was a moss man who smelled like moss, and he smelled the same as skunk ore. And I wound up wanting both of them. And my mother was like, I remember talking to my mom about it later on after I was older. She was like, you just made my entire house smell like fucking skunk weed. It smelled like fucking swag in my house all the time. The neighbors would come over and think I was smelling like fucking nickel bags. She's like, I'm an adult woman. I smoke good weed. And I know how to make my house smell nice.
Children are the devil. Don't do it.
But it was such a gimmicky thing, and that's why the idea of like a He-Man resurgence
Like,
is
why
so strange
are we
to me.
doing this?
Because
It's so odd.
He-Man was like, I want this toy. It smelled like skunk.
Absolutely not. I 100% did not want toys that smelled like anything as a child.
Really? You
Yeah,
didn't have
thank
any, you didn't have any like.
Only if they were like really pleasant. Like there were dolls
That's
that
what I'm
smelled
saying.
like strawberry.
Yes, I remember half of my sister's stuff smelling like strawberry. Boys don't want strawberry. Boys want skunk. No, they don't. Why did
And
you
that's the
offer me skunk?
And that's the patriarchy
That's
being
the
imposed upon
patriarchy.
men.
Why didn't you offer me a pleasant smelling toy? My thing was I was enamored of the idea of a toy that smelled like something.
Yes.
I didn't know it was like scratch and sniff Snickers. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it
Yeah.
smelled like. It was
Right.
the fact that I could make a smell.
Yes.
But all you offered me was skunk weed. Offer me more than skunk weed. And that's not just on toys. That's on like everybody. If I come to your house, offer me more than skunk weed.
Agreed. All right, y'all. We're running out of time. We got two more things that I really want to get to super quick. One of them is that Jeff Goldblum is going to be playing D&D
On a podcast.
on a podcast that you can listen to.
This is not some star-studded celebrity charity podcast.
No.
This is not.
It's not a guest.
It's not a guest. This is not a one-shot with Jeff Goldblum. This is Jeff Goldblum joining season 2 of Dark Dice. This is not an official D&D Wizards of the Coast thing.
Nope.
This is a fan-made Dungeons & Dragons podcast.
Yes.
Very highly edited, very high production values. I listened to an episode after this announcement was made. It's very good.
Yeah.
They play everything live, and then they take certain segments, rewrite them to follow the plot of what was played live, condense them, shoot them, reshoot them, add like sounds and like whole. It's a really beautiful podcast.
They consider it to be a high concept audio drama. And I love this. I'm very excited. So he's going to be joining for the next season. The whole season? Like what? Like look at the character art.
Fuck, man.
Like can you believe?
Fuck. He's still got that Goldblum energy. Look at the way he's looking at that. Like he's looking at that die. Like, oh, is that? Wow. What is that die?
Now,
Oh,
originally-
I'll roll it and then a magic.
Originally,
it.
this company was making more traditional audio dramas, but a few years back, as a team-building exercise for his cast, Vengroff ran a short D&D themed adventure, just as like let's all do a thing together. And they just discovered that it was a really cool vehicle for telling stories, and they stuck to D&D. It's very cool.
So the way this is going to work, and I think this is very fascinating, there is already a cast for Dark Dice.
Mm-hmm.
There are characters that go all through season 1. These characters will also be in season 2. But there is a second group of adventurers that's being introduced. These two teams are going on different parallel quests. They don't interact until the end of the season when they will battle, and the winning team will continue to be the cast of Dark Dice.
Jeff Goldblum's team's got to lose.
They've
There's no
got to
way he
lose.
get it
How
for
long
another
can you hold
season.
on to Goldblum?
No way.
The world's going to open back up, and
Yeah.
Goldblum's going to do 100 million things.
The tweet that they referenced, that's not what my screen is showing right now. I promise I didn't do that. But it's very funny. The tweet that they referenced was from Greg Tito. Hey, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
That's cool.
So, Wizards and D&D obviously seem to be very into this.
Of course.
Why wouldn't they be?
But Pelham and Greg both friends of the show, please. We love you. You know who I am at least.
Hey, we're living the secret on this one.
We love you.
Friends of the show. Friend of the show.
I work for you. Also known as I work for you.
It's
That's
pretty
cool.
wild, man. D&D. I think D&D might be taking off.
Oh, you think so?
I think
As someone who plays D&D
this is
for a living, yeah.
this is a big industry prediction here, but I think D&D might be onto something. Guess we'll find out.
And the last piece of news.
This is like, you know what this is like? This is like when Oprah joined Twitter.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh, Twitter's a thing. And everybody was like, of course Twitter's a thing.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, Jeff Goldblum's playing what? Oh, maybe I should try out this Dungeons and Dragons.
And hey, it's never too late to
It's
start.
never too late.
That's okay. It's okay if you get into it just because Jeff Goldblum does. That's okay.
That's okay. I
We
only
still
joined
welcome
Twitter
you.
because Oprah was there.
What is happening to my microphone? And the last piece of news.
Ooh, baby.
We got a big one.
So, Malcolm Spellman.
The showrunner of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yep. Also going to be directing Captain America 4. Hinted in an interview that even though we've already got 14 announced Marvel movies and various television series,
Scoff.
there's more.
There's more than you know.
There are more Marvel movies for Phase 4 that have not yet been announced that are in the works, according to an interview with Spellman.
Spellman said, I was surprised how few of the upcoming Marvel movies have been announced.
How few! How few!
Oh my God. Oh my
How
God.
few! Imagine thinking there are only 14 Marvel movies coming.
Oh my God. That's silly.
Imagine
That's only a few.
I mean, and who knows how many of these projects are in a state where they're about to go to production, how many are in pre-pro, how many are just ideas right now. Don't eat too many brownies. We're going for sugar breakfast after this. Don't spoil your sugar with sugar. Patreon clip, we go for sugar breakfast.
Yeah, we do have to do a Patreon clip.
Patreon clip this week is we go for sugar breakfast. We sit and eat donuts while you watch. Donut mukbang for patrons this week.
Dome muck.
You definitely don't want to turn it into muck nut. If you have muck nut, there's an ointment. Ask your doctor if this ointment is right for you. If you've been experiencing muck nut, listen, 3 out of every 5 men will experience muck nut in their lives.
Who in the chat has the Smosh nut button? Come on. Show us that nut button emote.
Where is it at?
There we go.
There it is, muck nut. What else could they possibly be working on?
I don't know, and that's so exciting.
Because we've gotten to a point where MODOK has a television show.
Yeah, we're getting into niches.
Howard the Duck?
Has this ever happened to you? No.
No. Howard the Duck.
I'd love that.
Howard the Duck?
I would love Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, please.
Yeah.
Please, I beg you. Kevin
Please.
Feige.
Howard
my
the
wife.
Duck.
She's very sick. She says she needs Howard the Duck to survive.
Please, my duck.
My duck. He's very gone. Like, what else? Like, what could they be working on at Marvel that they haven't announced? That you really want? I mean, I'd love Fantastic. I mean, we know that Fantastic Four is being worked on.
We love Fantastic Four in this house.
But like, because Fantastic Four is being worked on, does that mean we get Silver Surfer? Can I get a Silver Surfer movie?
Stories of non-men heroes.
Sure.
Stories of non-white heroes.
Yep.
That's what I want. If we're really thinking about what we'd like, Squirrel Girl.
Yes.
Squirrel Girl has been like pitched and held up so many times.
So Squirrel Girl was supposed to be part of the New Warriors show.
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to be the leader of the New Warriors. The pilot was shot with what's her name? Milana Vaintrub as Squirrel Girl.
Milana's amazing. You may know Milana as the AT&T girl. She was also a big early YouTube. She had a show called Two Prude Girls. And she was in Other Space, which was the other Yahoo series, which launched at the same time as Community.
She's the AT&T girl who
Yeah.
people harassed on the internet to no end for having boobs.
Yeah, she had boobs, and the internet didn't like that.
The internet freaked out that she had boobs.
But she was going to be Squirrel Girl. And I think this is so good. I think her as Doreen would have been so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. And I just I'm sad we didn't get that show.
I'm also very sad that we didn't get that show. I would love a Squirrel Girl story.
But it was
Big
supposed
fan.
to be the New Warriors are like a small. They're like this. It was kind of a mix of New Warriors and Great Lakes Avengers, if you're familiar with that, where it's like a goof about superheroes who are in a they're kind of small. They haven't done much yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the big superheroes, and they're in a town that doesn't really need as many superheroes as there are.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? It sounded like it had very much Tick vibes, I would have loved to have seen that. God.
Yeah, well, we've got
Alpha
more
Flight.
Marvel coming. Maybe we'll get it.
We've got Captain Marvel. We'll probably have Alpha Flight, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
We can get that.
Like I said, my request is some non-men and non-white people stories. That's what I would like from Marvel. A lot of the announcements that we have so far, they're working towards it, but it's still a real white universe.
Yeah.
It's still a real white cinematic universe. And we can make a lot of progress if we're getting so many movies in phase 4.
Let's go.
You got a lot of movies to put women and people of color in. Give us some queer stories, huh?
I will say one of the things, and you and I talked about this. One of the things that seems to be very interesting about the Disney Plus Marvel stuff is it's very, very woman forward in a lot of ways. WandaVision, obviously.
Wanda, yeah.
And then with Falcon and Winter Soldier and Sharon
haven't
Carter
watched yet.
and the Contessa and all of these other characters that are being introduced, and of course Anthony Mackie taking over as Captain America. They've got Ironheart coming.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're doing a lot on Disney Plus. The Eternals, which is going to be a big Phase 4 movie, seems to be doing that for Marvel as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Shang-Chi seems to be doing that for Marvel. It'd be great to see them continue along on this road. Yeah. And do more with that. They're making good starts.
Fingers crossed, very much. That's very exciting. Look, more Marvel is I don't get sick of there being more Marvel movies. I haven't yet. I am always excited. I am always looking forward to more. It is such an expansive roster that I'm oh, what weird character that I saw in a comic book one time as an appearance are you going to give a movie to? Mm-hmm. Let's go. I'm into that.
Slapstick for Phase 4.
Get weird with it.
Sleepwalker for Phase 4.
And DC's getting so weird with their choices that come on, Marvel, give us some weird ones. We got Polka Dot Man coming from DC. What are you gonna do, Marvel?
But that's that James Gunn. You know what I mean? James Gunn comes to the Marvel universe and he goes, I want the tree and the raccoon. He goes to DC and he goes, the polka dotted man.
Yes. And I don't want more James Gunn, but I do want obscure heroes and villain stories. That's it. That's our show. Thank you for spending your morning with us. We do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can start a whole lot of mornings with us. It's certainly my favorite way to start the day.
I love, it's a toss-up between this show and a sugar breakfast, and we got both today.
So that's very exciting.
And we're going to go for more sugar breakfast after this.
And hey, we have a Patreon.
What?
That helps us keep the lights on here. It helps the show keep functioning. It helps us pay for the Adobe suite so I can make the graphics for the show for the most part.
Does the Patreon money come in pachinko form?
No, totally different. Completely separate.
Okay.
Over on Patreon, you get an exclusive clip from It's Too Early, one story that we did not cover, something that we didn't talk about here on the show every single week. Last week, we talked about the Iron Man billboard that popped up in LA.
Nothing came of that.
It's a fun clip. It was one of my favorite Patreon stories we've gotten to do. So if you're into that, there's also an entire backlog of those. If you sign up for Patreon at any time, you can always scroll back and see all of the extra It's Too Early content.
So, you know, with Fast 9 coming in June, you might want to go back and watch the Patreon clips of Saige watching the entire Fast series.
It sucked, and we'll have to watch the next one, I'm sure.
Fucking ruled.
I also, if you are already a patron and you have not checked our Patreon, for all patrons of every tier, I have a post up in there right now for something I'm working on and I want your input on, and it will have like potentially tangible effect of something you will be able to see. I asked the patrons a question. I need some input for something I'm working on for the channel. So if you're already a patron, go and check that post out. Leave me a comment, answer some questions. It's about Failed Save. Failed Save, of course, is our D&D 5e show that is on Friday nights and returns on May 14th.
Ooh.
So soon. You can see Anthony and I over there.
Yeah, but pretend that it comes back on May 7th. Because on May 7th, at the exact same time that we would do Failed Save, we're going to be doing a panel with all of the lovely GMs that work with us on the channel and some of our favorite GMs, and talking to them about how they create worlds, D&D stuff. If you have any questions for them about their process or about D&D in your own game or anything that happened on any of our shows, you can come and you can ask. I'm going to be moderating that panel, so come and watch.
It's going to be very, very fun. We have Damsel's Dice and Everything Nice, of course, tomorrow, Saturday. That's our other D&D 5e show where we all get to dress up as princesses. On Sunday, we have One Time on the Internet, and then Monday, we'll be right back here for this show. How very exciting. There's so much content throughout the week, and there's always new things coming. So be sure to follow the channel. New emotes are also in progress.
Yeah.
We're patient with our artists.
Get those emotes. Get on that Discord.
Oh, get in the Discord. Everybody's tagging themselves as who they are in Children of the Corn right now. I also wanted to shout out thank you to Chaos Them, also known as Elliot, for tweeting about the show today.
Very nice. We love it when you tweet about the show. Listen.
We do. It's very sweet of you.
Spend a lot
and
of
you always
time,
take good screenshots.
We spend a lot of time at the end of the show begging for money. Money's weird. Don't worry about money. We know that we beg. You don't have to give it. Like, just coming and watching the show is enough. We make a show so people watch it. You're watching it. You're doing the thing. This is all we dreamed.
Show for.
But if you do want to help out and help grow the show and help bring more little BBs to the circle, just tweet about the show. Tweet about the channel.
Make a clip. Share a clip.
Share a GIF. I love to be in a GIF.
He loves to be in a GIF.
Oh,
we're going to go through and we are going to thank everybody who supported us on the show today, the new followers, the subscribers.
Peugeot Freak, thank you for the follow. Fane Hawk, Blue Pirate, 54 Aqua Snakes, Dogs Are the Best, correct.
With some bits, thank you.
Chris Plowman has subscribed, thank you.
And you use Prime, which personally takes $2.50 out of the Beezy's pocket.
Haha. Telemelia, thank you for the follow. Kurt Laurelton with $10 to get more cookies. Darth Phileas, $25. Go get that sugar breakfast. Tom B. D&D or Tom B. Dand?
Tom B. Dand.
Tom B. Dand, $10. Sugar breakfast.
Sugar breakfast.
Mama Faraday, $5 for the good donuts. As Joriel, $25. Go get donuts. Fuck, it really is going to be a Patreon clip of us eating donuts. B Tyrant 314, GRT Dane, Davey Dave Boy with 100 bits. Suit Michael with 10 gift subs. Welcome to the circus, Lisa Penrose, Shellbot 12. It's Evie Cloud, Jonathan Gore. I was about to say Jonathan like he was John that came from the planet that Hawkman came from. Jonathan Gore, You Can't Heal Stupid. Goochman Twitch,
That's
we
Mike.
know Mike. Hi, Mike. Gab Greg 47, Dalf 32, Lazy Titanks, and Sack of Sausages. Suit Michael, thank you so much for gifting those subs. Tommy Dan with a bit saying, I guess you could say you're a bit confused. Hey, I am. Chaos Elliott with $3. Suck it, Bezos. Hell yeah. Son of Orpheus, 1 bit. Kobe. Kurt Laurelton, 3 bits. Alonzo, 27 bits. What? Whoa, including the Mr. Destructoid bit. Wow. Suit Michael. Wow, Destructoid.
Suit Michael, thank you for the sub. 54 Aqua Snakes, Stamps, Tommy Dand, Seabells, Alonzo, Stamps, with the sub and the bits. Thank you so much.
Woo! Chicken Tenders 35. Mama Faraday with the gift sub to Finding Amy. 54 Aqua Snakes with more bits. Mama Faraday with more bits from my fave morning news show. Darth Phileas with the resub. Scott Davis 136 with 2 bits. Tom B. Dan with the follow. Matt Jute Cole.
Yep.
with the follow. Viewey Nayes with the follow, and I did that correctly.
Nailed it.
C. Bells, Jamie's Porcola? Jamie Sporcola. Yeah, thank you for the follow. Kurt Laurelton with more bits. Son of Orpheus with more bits. Mystic Phoenix 03 with the follow. Copper Key. Man, y'all coming in clutch today. The Copper Key with the follow.
Yeah, truly. Also, Tom, are we saying that right? I'm sorry.
Tibidambadund? Is it Tibambadund?
We don't.
Tibidabambam.
You see, I'm homeschooled, so I have every excuse. By Dan.
By Dan. Tom by Dan.
You see, I was homeschooled. I never learned how to read. I had to teach myself, and that's my excuse. Hey, Anthony, where can they find you on the internet?
They can find me everywhere on the internet at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. And since today is Friday, there's a brand new episode of my science comedy podcast with Jeff Canada. We Have Concerns coming out today. You can find that at wehaveconcerns.com.
And you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Saturday's tomorrow. It's community day. You go and check out your creations in the community Minecraft server. And after this, at 3 o'clock Pacific, I'm going to be on Smosh Games playing some Monster Prom.
Never heard of it.
And then tonight, I will be on the Gilding Light channel with Satine Phoenix for Sirens.
Never heard of it.
It's going to be a busy weekend, and then I'll be right back here all weekend as well. So follow all of those places.
Never heard
Very exciting. That's cool. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, BBs.
We love you very much, and we'll see you in our Patreon clip.
We're going to eat so many donuts.
We are probably going to eat so many donuts.
Bye.
Oh, God.